Okay, YouTube, welcome back. First of all, to the Boston Fans 79
Yes.
V1 YouTube channel, and as well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I've got exclusively here in the Boston Fan Cave, got Mr. Fort Minor Project, aka my brother, David Rivera.
Yeah.
And, for me personally here on my channel, I don't know if this is live. I don't know because I'm using this new feature on my app, my YouTube app, and you click on the camera and you access the camera. So I don't know what this is going to turn out like. I don't know if it's live. If it is live, somebody please leave me a comment below saying, "Hey, Chris, you're live." And we are also simulcasting as well on David's channel, the Fort Minor Project YouTube channel. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to give our overall thoughts and opinions about NXT Takeover. Now, David, let me ask you, as a whole of the whole show, before we get into the detail, what did you think about NXT Takeover?
Overall, as a whole, I actually thought it was a good, enjoyable show for NXT. I want to say about 3 matches that I really did enjoy out of the whole entire card, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my personal opinion, this was a straight up wrestling show at its best.
Oh, yeah,
I
no
mean,
doubt about it.
I really feel that this pay per view, this special, this NXT Takeover Toronto, it was really something cool, because you know you didn't have a whole lot of glitz and glamour like you do with a lot of the time with the actual main event or the pay per views from the main roster.
Right.
But more or less, this was a straight up good wrestling show. Okay, not necessarily sports entertainment, wrestling. Okay, I think we're going to have a lot of that sports entertainment value tomorrow at Survivor Series. But as a whole for NXT, this was really something kind of cool, and we'll get into it. David, the first match of the night, we had the glorious one,
Bobby
Roode
was in action,
taking on Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10. Okay. What are your overall thoughts and opinions about how this match went down?
Well, overall, I actually did enjoy this match. Probably one of my favorite matches of the night, to say the very least, and a nice way to start things off for NXT Takeover Toronto. So, within that, we did actually have Bobby Roode get the win here. So, one of those kind of win-win situations, if you ask me. And it was actually fine with me having Bobby Roode get his glorious win in the match and taking out Ty Dillinger. Now, whether or not the match is going to be able to continue or not, that remains to be seen. But seeing Bobby Roode in his hometown, being able to get that win, I thought, no pun intended, was, again, glorious. How about you?
It definitely was glorious. First of all, let's talk about that epic, glorious, tremendous Bobby Roode entrance. I mean, he had the choir singing and then queued up his music. That was awesome. Okay, I thought that was just straight up class. Okay, as far as the match itself, both men did a really good job in the ring. But yeah, it was Bobby Roode who did get the win. Now, there's a part of me that can't say I'm surprised that Bobby Roode got the win, because the thing is, in my opinion, Ty Dillinger really needed this win. He really did, but, writing, saw Bobby Roode, we'll probably very soon see him next in line for that NXT Championship, because he's just kind of like going up that ladder, beating people, kind of being a real good at his character, being that heel character. And the crowd was kind of mixed in this one, to say the least. And a lot of people were cheering on the Perfect 10. And I myself would have liked to have seen Ty Dillinger get the win, but it doesn't bother me in the least that Bobby Roode got the win. So,
Mhm.
pretty good match overall. David, what was the next match?
The next match, if I'm not mistaken, was for the Dusty Road Classic, the Tag Classic. We did have that. But with this one, it was a bit different. It was a little odd, too. I will say that. And we had the Authors of Pain taking on TM61. But something that we did see now, we did see this a while back when we were hanging out, when we went to the store. It was Toys R Us.
Yep.
They had a new
Yep.
toy, if you will. And that I would have never expected to actually happen. And it did say as seen in NXT, but it never really happened until tonight, until the Crash Cage.
The
came
Crash
to life.
Cage. Which has been something that has been done before in the WWE, because I do remember, if I'm not mistaken, it was Paul Bearer was actually up in the cage when the Undertaker, if I'm not mistaken, was taking on Mankind, and and then there's been a couple of other occasions where it has been used, but on the NXT level, it's never been used. Paul Ellering was in that cage, and overall, from the match itself, what did you think about the match itself? It was a surprise finish.
That it was, yeah. Just seeing the whole cage, I mean, I didn't really care for that per se. And then having the Authors of Pain kind of felt a little weird to me, seeing the heel team winning the tournament. So, I don't know how I really feel about it. I mean, the tag team isn't really all that bad. I do like the manager that they do have, so that's really cool and stuff. But just seeing that, I don't know. I guess hopefully it's a one-time deal. We don't see the Crash Cage come back. It was just really to me, and I didn't really care for it that much this time around.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, yeah, Paul Ellering, he is the one tag team he's notorious for managing, the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom.
Yep.
There were a couple of beasts from Chicago, and this is no different with the Authors of Pain. Granted, this team is just getting its start, and they have a really good manager. I think Paul Ellering being the manager of the Authors of Pain, I think is absolutely tremendous.
Yeah,
and it just will hopefully continue Paul Ellering's already great legacy in the world of the WWE NXT as well. But it was kind of a surprise finish, because I would have thought that the face tag team TM61 would have gone over. Not to say that the Authors of Pain didn't deserve it, because they do. They're big guys, they're strong guys, and the more powerful team got the win, surprisingly, instead of, because I guess maybe they wanted to make it believable, is what I'm thinking. They wanted to make the Authors of Pain look believable, saying, hey, we're not going to take any crap. We're big, we're powerful, we're going to get these guys. And that is, in my opinion, is what they did.
Right.
So, overall, the actual match itself, thin, lanky guys versus big, huge 300-pounders. What more do you expect? I mean, so in my opinion, pretty, for what it was worth, pretty good match. No complaints about it. Just a little bit, kind of sort of surprised that they got the win, the Authors of Pain. But, I guess you can expect nothing more from, 300-pounders versus if you were, like you or me were stepping the ring with 300-pounders.
Oh boy, yeah. I want to see that.
So, okay, so the next match after that was the tag team title match. 2 out of 3 falls, DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano versus the Revival. Now, this match, in my opinion, match of the night. Okay, it was.
Yeah.
And, the first fall was, administered by the Revival. So the Revival was already up at 1. Then Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano pulled off, one of their finishers, that double like super kick to the head.
Yeah,
I think it
insane.
is, or double shins or double knees to the head, and that's when they got the win, right there with that. That put them up at 1.
Yep.
And then
And we got sudden.
we had sudden death.
Mhm.
You had Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa putting on submission holds to the Revival, and the Revival tapped out. And
That's
your new
crazy.
tag team champions are Team DIY.
Yep.
Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Wrestling. And, what I pretty much think about this personally is this, like I said, match of the night instantaneously.
Oh,
Match of the night.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to watch a pure, awesome, epic wrestling match, you have to watch this 2 out of 3 falls tag team match. Now, where is this going to go? Okay, is the Revival going to get a tag team title shot, or get their rematch clause, or is the Revival going to go to like SmackDown or Monday Night Raw? In my opinion, I think Monday Night Raw needs the Revival. So I would like to see them debut on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, maybe the night after Survivor Series. But if not, if they decide to do their rematch clause, that's fine too. Not that I would be the least bit surprised, but I am hoping, for what it's worth, that Team DIY does get a long title run, because make no mistake about it, you can love them, you can hate them. The Revival had an epic, I'll say it, had an epic title run
They really
with those
have,
tag team
they're a
championship.
great tag team.
I mean, they were really,
Mm-hmm.
I have changed my whole perspective about these guys.
Right.
They are classic in the ring,
They really
for
are.
what it's worth. They are classic heel tag team in the ring, and they do a really great hell of a job. So whatever they decide to do, it's absolutely fine by me. We'll appreciate it either way. David, what are your thoughts about this match?
Yeah, with this match, it was definitely a great match. Probably one of the matches of the night, if not the match of the night. So far, the Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger match, and this match, the tag team title match. And I will say this, with the Revival, they kind of bring out that old school type of factor that you don't normally always get to see. So they mixture that into their tag team wrestling style, which is really cool. And the Revival did a really good job actually being a heel tag team and keeping up with the tag titles for as long as they did. So DIY actually having themselves being as tag team champions now, it's really cool to see who's going to be able to face them now. So maybe the Authors of Pain might have a feud with them, perhaps, who knows, but that remains to be seen. So that could be something interesting to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said it all. Because, now that I put the two together,
Exactly.
you got the Authors of Pain, who won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic,
Mm-hmm.
which now puts them in line for a title opportunity.
Yeah.
And, I'd probably hate to say this, but we may have new tag team champions before we know it in the Authors of Pain. So.
And then again, maybe the Revival could be going to the main roster. We were talking about that too. You mentioned Raw, which actually isn't that bad of a fit for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would fit in quite well. David, take us down the road to the following match after that match.
Yes, the following match where we had the Women's Championship on the line. We had Asuka and the returning Mickie James, which is really cool. It did bring back a lot of great memories, to say the very least. Basically old school Mickie with the old theme song and everything, classic stuff right there. So, seeing her with her old ring attire again and all that stuff, basically, seeing all the same moves and with a little bit of new stuff and really good attitude from Mickie James being focused. It seemed like she really watched a lot of Asuka matches, and I knew going into this year, hold her own, because I did mention she did wrestle women like Beth Phoenix, Melina, just to name a few. So it wasn't going to be too much of a problem, even though she hasn't really wrestled for a while since she was last seen at TNA, and she hasn't wrestled for WWE-wise in a long time, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we did a live reaction, which can be found on the Fort Minor
Which is up
Project
right now,
YouTube
so
channel.
definitely check that out.
And yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, Mickie James did not miss a step in her wrestling. She looked great. She wrestled great. And for what it's worth, I mean, it was absolutely tremendous to see her in the ring again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, wrestling in a WWE based ring. You know, and she fought, you know, the women's champion, Asuka, and who has over the past, you know, month has not really had a whole lot of competition.
Right.
Because, like I said in the live reaction video, you know, Asuka, the women's division in NXT, in my opinion, looks bleak.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. Because when you have women like Liv Morgan, Billy Kay,
Right.
Peyton Royce, Aaliyah,
Yep.
and there's like what, one or two others that rarely wrestle.
So there's not really a whole lot. And
There's
Amber
not,
Moon,
yeah,
too,
there's not a whole lot, and so Amber Moon, okay, that's the only other woman that I can see wrestling Asuka next for the NXT Women's Championship. I think Amber Moon would make an absolutely tremendous fucking women's champion.
That's going to be a hell of a match to see now. Even though towards the end of the Mickie James and Asuka match, and Asuka did retain and everything, so Mickie was trying to go for that showing of respect, which you don't normally see that much, and I like seeing that. But Asuka didn't really seem to really be bothered with that, and basically just walking out. So, you got a baseball bat. You look kind of pissed off about that. Maybe I should be holding the bat. It should be the other way
around. Well, the thing is that Asuka really came out to be a bitch. I mean, honestly, Mickie James wanted some sportsmanship.
Yeah.
You know, she wanted a good shake out of the match, or a hug, whatever. Even though I know hugging is Bayley's thing, but it would have been nice for Asuka to acknowledge, instead of just like holding the title up, smiling, and walking away. I'm sorry, that's not cool in my opinion.
Then again, we did have Hug It Out, so they can't do that.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing too.
Yeah. But
it's just, Asuka, in my opinion, as good of a wrestler as she is, character-wise, her character has lost just a little bit of not respect, but cool points from
kind of what the heelish road.
You know, she went down the heel road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe Amber Moon may rise to the occasion, and who knows what is going to, you know, come about from Mickie James. I'm hoping for the best that, you know, whatever she decides, if she wants to stay, or if she wants to maybe work her way up to the Hall of Fame, you know, maybe possibly get into the Hall of Fame this year. You know, right before WrestleMania 33 is what I'm possibly thinking. But, yeah, Asuka, not cool. I got the Negan.
That's not cool. Only had
but, yeah, so that's that. Asuka retained. It is what it is.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I mean, I did went into this match liking both women, but I was definitely pro Mickie all the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, so having that, you know.
But you know, you have to know that she wasn't. That this was, like I said, it was an attraction show.
Well, that's basically what it is. Right?
I would have been pleasantly surprised had Mickie James pulled it out.
Because that would have been the first time ever for her to be women's champion, Divas champion, TNA Knockouts women's champion, and she would have been NXT women's champion.
Absolutely, yeah. She would have been around, you know, a multi-crown, you know, basically in every place that she's been to.
So now,
but it is what it is.
Yeah. Like I said too, like hopefully getting to that part-time schedule. Maybe we'll see her SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
Maybe see her next week at the house show. Who knows?
Yeah, well, we're very hopeful.
Yeah.
Now it's main event time, and by the way, to the WWE Network and to Time Warner Cable, here is, a big screw you, because we were having a lot of problems with the internet and the WWE Network, so I had to, we tried queuing up our phones because the TV WWE Network went out on us. We tried queuing up the phones, we tried queuing up the tablets. Nothing was really working, and it was showing table for 3.
That wasn't even on.
That wasn't even on. They had a table for 3 with the Charlotte, Tamina Snuka, and Natalia, and I'm like, what? I'm like, are they really showing this while NXT is on? But no, that wasn't the case, because I reset both my Roku and the modem, and it queued back up, but it was still trying to determine a picture, if you will. It was trying to determine the picture, because it kept going in and out, in and out, in and out.
That's when I needed the baseball bat.
That's when we needed the baseball
3
bat.
tables.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But the main event, Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. In my opinion, am I happy that Joe got the NXT Championship back? Yes and no. The reason why it's no, it's because he's now still stuck in NXT, and he's not going to be going to the main roster like I was kind of hoping he would. And that way Shinsuke could, still be kind of like the face of NXT, and, leading it down the road, waiting for the next set of opponents. Guys like Bobby Roode would have been a perfect, opponent. Yeah, it really would have, but that didn't happen. Samoa Joe is now, like I said, once again, your first time ever, 2-time NXT champion. So, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura will get his, a rematch down the road, maybe at, sometime mid-year, around WrestleMania. Maybe they'll keep it on Joe for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can probably see that happening, because I don't know if they're planning another takeover until about WrestleMania.
That'll probably Royal Rumble around that time.
It could be around Royal Rumble too.
Yeah.
But I'm not disappointed. Definitely not disappointed. The match was good.
Yeah.
The match was pretty damn good. And then Joe won clean with the Muscle Buster. And so, can't really complain about that. But we can sit here and kind of be like, okay, you know what? And at least, I just think Shinsuke Nakamura should have kept that title. I really do. And Samoa Joe should have just headed up to the main roster with possibly the Revival. That's just my opinion. So, David, what are your thoughts on the main event?
Well, with this, I did really enjoy it. Samoa Joe winning, kind of was a little surprising too, if you will. Not having Shinsuke retaining his title, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm pretty sure it basically is probably over at this point to see who's going to be able to face Samoa Joe now that he's got his NXT title back. And definitely an enjoyable main event to say the least, to close things and having Samoa Joe standing tall, so can't really go too wrong with that either way. And I was hearing too, which isn't too bad, maybe a Royal Rumble entrant from Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe for 2017, pretty soon.
Yeah, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura will be on the main roster and not Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe will be, like I said, stuck in NXT for a little while.
Yeah.
But we will definitely find out come the Royal Rumble and see what happens with that. But
Indeed. Yep.
So overall, David, what would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate NXT Takeover Toronto?
With that, I would probably maybe say 5 to at least 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah, I'll go with 7 out of 10.
I think from a wrestling standpoint, um, less entertainment. Um, you know what? And I don't want to overrate this, but I'll give it a good 8.5 out of 10 because it didn't disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great wrestling show. Okay? Um, and that's just my opinion. So 8.5 for me, about 7 for David. And I guess that'll be it for us for tonight. We'll go ahead and we'll upload these. Like I said, I don't know if mine for the Boston Fan 79 V1 YouTube channel was live.
Yeah, this is something different.
Because even though it says when you click on the camera, it says start the show. Well, okay.
Yeah, looks live to me.
So I don't know if it's a live feed.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed and had the opportunity to enjoy NXT Takeover Toronto.
Yep.
Really great wrestling show. I definitely recommend everybody go check it out when you have the time. And Survivor Series is tomorrow. And we'll see what happens with Survivor Series. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And otherwise, for me, Boston Fan 79 V1, and for David, Fort Minor Project, yeah, we'll see you guys on the flip side. You all have a wonderful evening. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah. See you guys.